Hello. I'm sorry. Okay. Hello, everybody that is joining on live. Oh. Hi. Awesome. Hello, everyone. How are you all? Hope you are well. Thank you so much for joining me live on this little Facebook Live that I've got going on. So the topic that we're looking at today is receiving money. Now, this kind of came about from a couple of co-facilitated calls that I've been doing with the most amazing Catherine McIntosh, and also from my own Let's Create Magic calls that I do 1, 2, or 3 times a week. They're free if anyone would like to join in, and I'll make sure I post the link to this when I'm done. Veronica, you've started your travels. Yay! Bangkok airport. I love it. Don't you just love how technology just works like this? Like you're in Bangkok, I'm in Sydney. Oh my God. Lani Mason, how are you? Happy Sunday to you too. It's been a few years since we caught up. I think I saw you last in Perth. My gosh. Awesome. Okay. So as I said, this topic kind of came up about from co-facilitating calls and facilitating my own calls. This idea of when someone asks you, what do you want? What I noticed is there's generally kind of like 2 reactions. Yes, Veronica is on her way to the No Judgment Diet classes in Paris. Catherine's left as well, so you guys are going to be getting there around about the same time. Oh my gosh. Back on track. Okay, so when someone generally asks you what it is that you want, I've found that, you know, not just from my experience of asking myself or other people asking me what I want, when I'm facilitating, there's generally 2 reactions. There's generally the blank of like, what? What do you mean? You're asking me what I want? And then there's the other reaction that's quite common is, oh, well, I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And they're both very, neither one's right, neither one's wrong. Hello, Miss Cindy Lynn. It's 1 a.m. wherever you are in the world, in the US somewhere. Thank you for joining us. Neither one of those is right and neither one of those is wrong. For me, it's just more awareness about where you're at. Oh, thank you, Lani. Oh, awesome. So this idea of like, you know, lots of us use the tools and processes as processes of access consciousness to actually get what we want. Now, the trick is, hey, Serby, how are you? Is knowing what you want. Okay, and that's a very broad, wow, what do I want for my entire life living, you know, reality? Hey, Monique, how are you? It's, you know, and that includes relationship, money, family, sex, like clothes, job, everything, where you want to live. Yes, Veronica says, return to sender all the points of views that I can't have what I truly want. Exactly. Right. So I'm going to do this exercise with you guys, and it's going to be short. This is not going to be like a massive thing. So my question to you guys is, right now we're going to look at money, basically. So my question is, how much money do you want per month? So have a look at that for you, and just whatever that figure is, feel free to write it in the chat. So how much do you want per month? If someone was going to give you any amount of money, how much is it that you would want a month? I mean, I'd like 20,000 really. That would be awesome. And well, Lani, awesome. Is that mine or yours? Oh, I think that's yours. Excellent. So 20,000 a month. Brilliant. You know, is it 1,000 a month? Is it 5,000 a month? Is it 100 million a month? Write down the 85,000, Veronica. I love it. I love it. $10,000 a month, Cindy Lynn. Monique, 10,000 euro. Brilliant. I love these figures. Cool. So now I'm going to ask you, truth, are you willing to receive that amount of money per month? Karen says 25,000 a month. Now have a look at that figure that you've put in the chat and ask yourself, truth, are you willing to receive that amount of money per month? For my 20,000, I get a yes. Cool. Veronica says yes and no. Awesome. Veronica, you're always in the middle there. Yes and no. So truth, Veronica, which one is it? Lani says yes. Awesome. Serby says yes. Cindy says yes. Okay. So I'm going to ask you another question. If you got a yes that you are willing to receive that amount of money a month, what's stopping you from receiving it? And are you saying yes just to say yes, or are you actually truly looking at it as in, wow, would I be, it's not, we're looking at the energy of not what you want, what you're willing to receive. And they're very different. Karen says yes to 15, no to 25. Brilliant. Veronica says it's a no. That's a no, Bob. Monique says yes, and there is also a no. Awesome. I would love to say yes to 20,000, you know, or 50 or 100,000. And I know if I was to truly look at that figure, it would most likely be a no, that I'm not willing to receive it. Okay, so Lani says, I can't work out how. Cool. So Lani, without thinking of it, without trying to calculate or decide or trying to work it out or figure it out, just whatever comes up in your universe first, yes or no, truth. Lani, would you be willing to receive the amount of money that you wrote down that you want, which was 20,000? Would you be willing to receive it? Yes or no? Quick as. Cindy Lynn says, my body has never received that much. Correct. This little exercise is basically about you getting clear on what you want and what you're willing to receive. Now, I say this because I have learned from experience. Yeah, Lani got a no. Cool. Not a wrongness, just more awareness. Now, I say this from experience. What you want will not work sometimes. Okay? Let me just say that again. What you want will not work sometimes. So you have to start getting clear on what you want. Eliza says, it is a yes, willing to receive. My body got nervous, excited. Ooh, I like it. The thing that is stopping me is no income streams in place. Cool, cool, cool. Cindy Lynn says, unless I was doing something I didn't really want to do. Okay, cool. So my point with this little exercise is look at what you want, you know, and then look at whether you're truly willing to receive it or not. And the awareness that you get of whether it's a yes or a no. Because like, I want this, I want that, I want like, you know, this amazing lifestyle. I want lots of money. I want a great wardrobe. I want, you know, the most amazing relationship on the planet. Right now, though, is what I want, will that work? And I can just tell, like for me, no, it's not going to work. Monique says, I want to know the conditions. Is that like the fine print down the bottom, Monique? So here's an example of how this actually works in real time. A couple of years ago, I was employed by someone who I was getting paid an hourly rate for creating, doing work and blah, blah, blah. And we started to look at, okay, wow, she wanted me more in the business. And so she was like, okay, let's start looking at paying you a monthly salary. I got super excited. Excellent. And then she actually asked me, well, what do you want per month? And I'm like, wow, what the hell are you asking me for? Aren't you the one that is meant to know what you want to pay me, kind of thing? And so I had to walk away. Okay, Cindy Lynn, what do you mean by it won't work? So if what you want is $20,000 a month, and what you're willing to receive, and you're not willing to receive that, then that's not going to work, right? That's what I mean by it won't work. So this is where getting clear on what you want and what you're willing to receive, so that you can be congruent with your asks. So Cindy Lynn, you can ask for like $20,000 a month all the time, right? And unless you're willing to receive it, it's not going to show up. And so what happens is where we say, I want 20,000, and yet we're not willing to receive it, there's that gap. And it's that gap that we go into that make ourselves wrong, where we make ourselves wrong rather than becoming aware of, wow, what is it actually that I'm willing to receive? Like, how much per month right now am I willing to receive? So in regards to this story, it's like I had to start looking at, wow, okay, so how much do I want a month? And I actually asked myself, well, what do I want? Blah, 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 blah. I went into calculation, computation, my rent is this much, my telephone, my electricity, my living expenses, and I calculated, right, what that was. And then I was speaking to a friend of mine. I'm like, this is really tough. I feel really awkward asking for what I want. It doesn't really make sense. And so we had this conversation where we cleared up a few stuff about receiving and money and, wants and blah, blah, blah. And she started to ask me, okay, so she started to go through these like dollar amounts. Okay, per month, Truth, would you be willing to receive 1,000? Then she went 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, all the way up to 10,000. And she asked me, and I looked at every amount. And she said, okay, which one was light? And I went, oh, that one. And she goes, well, that's what you're willing to receive. And I'm like, oh, well, that sucks because I want more than that, And I was like really shitty, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm not willing to receive and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, the point of that is that I went back to my boss, I say at the time, and I said to her, and I gave her the amount that I was willing to receive. And I said, it's X amount. And she was like, okay, cool. And we started off on that. And that entire time that I was with her for was total ease, joy, and glory. And in that time, I also created more money over and above that by doing my own things, by hosting other people, by, all of these other things that were showing up. Now, if I had chosen to give her the amount of what I want, which was a couple of $1,000s more per month, I know that it would not have worked. There's this energy of when you're willing to receive, then you can kind of build on what it is you're willing to receive and expand it out. And that's the baseline of what you're willing to receive. So the only way is up, basically. The only way is bigger and greater. And Veronica says, but aren't we asking for the big asks, even if it's scary? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can ask for it. It doesn't mean that it's going to show up. So for me, it's about getting clearer on your asks so it shows up. So Veronica, just say you're asking, I think you said like 25,000 a month, right? And if it's not, don't worry, it's just a figure. So you're asking for 25,000 a month. And what if that's not what you're willing to receive? So what if you got clear on what it is per month you're willing to receive and started asking for that, and then started asking for greater? Like if you're willing to receive that, great. All right. And then ask for, right, 30,000. Okay, truth, would I be willing to receive 30,000? Yes, no, no. Okay, so let's start to pot and pock everywhere that all of this, you know, is stopping you from receiving 30. And then all of a sudden you'll find that you'll go through the numbers again and, oh my God, I'm willing to receive 30,000. How does it get any better than that? And so then you can build and build and build on that and just ask for more receiving with money. You know, this isn't about not asking for big or greater. It's about asking for what you're aware of that you're willing to receive to get to the big and greater faster. Because for me, if you're asking for 25,000 and you're not willing to receive it, you're just going to keep hitting your head against a brick wall, making yourself wrong, you know, feeling like you're useless. I hope this makes sense. Thanks, Monique. Yes, it is awesome. Monique says, I receive enough to live, but to do nice things, nothing. Awesome. What else is possible to receive more fun? Absolutely. Absolutely. And yes, Prasenjit, this does really work. So my point with this Facebook Live is, you know, it's like, have a look at what it is that you're willing to receive now and take it as a base level benchmark of like the base level. That's it. You know, and from there, I wonder what you can ask for that's greater, bigger, and more. Because as soon as you start to acknowledge what it is you're willing to receive, then it does actually open up a doorway of possibilities for greater and more. And you're starting to acknowledge you, that you're becoming, that you're aware of you. You're aware of what you require, desire, need, and want, which makes this whole consciousness journey so much more ease. So much more ease. And for the people that, you know, did get yes, that, oh, I'm willing to receive this, brilliant. You know, you can also now start to ask, okay, so what's the greater amount that I'm willing to receive that I haven't been willing to be aware of that I'm willing to receive? And then just POC and POD everything all of that is. And for anyone that doesn't know about POC and POD, it's actually the clearing statement, the shortened version of the clearing statement that we use in Access Consciousness. And when this Facebook Live goes up, I will post some links to all of that. And I'm also going to post a link for an energy ball exercise I am doing on Wednesday, the 19th of September at 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And the topic on that is actually going to be on this Facebook Live, which is about receiving money. So it's going to be 90 minutes in total. The last 30 minutes will be the energy ball exercise. The first hour, we're going to look at what are your stopping points, your definitions of money, your definitions of receiving, you know, and all those places and spaces that sometimes you're not aware of that you're stopping yourself without even knowing it. The energy ball exercise is going to be on the amount of money that you're willing to receive right now that's true for you. And that amount's going to be different for everyone. Again, none of those amounts are right. None of them are wrong. They're just an amount that you're willing to receive that you can grow and make greater from. And if you don't know what the energy ball exercise is, it's this amazing tool from Access Consciousness where you start to work and play with energies that you're aware of that will create greater and have things show up with, you know, with so much more ease rather than trying to figure this stuff out, which we all know does not work. Veronica says, can't believe I caught you live, waiting for your plane to, waiting for my plane to board using airport Wi-Fi. Oh my God, the Wi-Fi might be crystal clear, but my speech right now is not crystal clear. See? Clear. Magic reigns once again. Absolutely, it does. And I love how the quantum entanglements of the universe work like this. So Veronica, I wonder what you've been asking for that's showing up as this Facebook Live. Cindy Lynn says, what I'm willing to receive is lighter than what I'm willing to do. Cool, cool. That's another awesome point, Cindy Lynn, is because as infinite beings, we operate so much faster and greater and with so much more fun when it is with energy. And energy is not a doing. Energy is a being. When you're being in energy, things start to show up with so much more ease, so much faster than you ever thought possible, and so much faster than you could ever think out. You know, like this whole cause and effect and linearity, which is all about thinking, just does not work for infinite beings like us. We do tend to, you know, fall back into it sometimes, and that's okay. However, just know that energy is the basis in from which you create, from which you live, from which you be everything from. Okay. So Cindy Lynn says, just got an awareness that the 10,000 is before expenses. Wow, that is brilliant. So there is more available there. I love it, Cindy Lynn. That is brilliant. Prasenjit says, but when we say are willing to receive money and express a doubt. Okay, so if you have a doubt, Prasenjit, then you're not willing to receive. And a doubt with the tools of access is just a distractor implant from distracting you from finding out what it is that you're actually willing to receive. So, you know, this reality has lots of little ways and means in pulling us back into it, rather than, you know, allowing us to create our own reality. So Prasenjit says, does this work still in that case? Receiving is perceiving everything with no point of view. So Prasenjit, if you've got a distractor implant like fear or doubt or jealousy, rage, hate, fury running on there, that's not true receiving, and that's not total receiving. Hello, Alejandra. I hope I said your name right. It's not true receiving. When you're willing to receive money, that is an energy of, it doesn't matter about the amount, whether it's $1 or $1 million. It's about having no point of view about that. You know, if someone was to give you $1 and you totally received it with no point of view, brilliant. That will create so much more for you. If someone was to give you $1 million and you were to totally receive it with no point of view, that will exponentially create more. The amount of money that you're willing to receive that you're just willing to receive for you is just an awareness about you and where you're at right now and what you can build and create and choose from that will be greater. And there will always be greater. There is always more. Oh, thanks, Cindy Lynn. I think I'm really cool with names because my full name is Zarustra Haricharan. So I remember when I was young, I was like, oh my God, if people don't get my name right, I'm going to punch them. Anyway, so I made sure I got everyone else's name right. Anyway, pot and pock all of that because that's not relevant now and it's not true now. So yeah, so my invite to you guys is, you know, I'd love for you guys to join me on this energy ball exercise on receiving money on Wednesday. Hello, Suno from St. Martin, ready to receive. Yay. Again, it's this, none of this stuff that like I create is about, and asking you these questions is about what's right or what's wrong. It's actually more about gaining more awareness about what will work for you, what will create more ease in your reality and your living, and what will create more ease for more creation and for more to show up. So I haven't actually finished the website or the sales page yet. I'm in the midst of doing that. So as soon as this Facebook Live is done, I will do my best to get it up and put the link in there. And look, even just from this little exercise that we've done today, where I asked you, how much money do you want per month? And truth, are you willing to receive that amount? Even if you do that for yourself, whether you get on the energy ball exercise or not, I have no point of view. See what comes up for you and start to play with your awareness of you. Okay? Cool. I'm so excited that all of you guys joined me. I'm very stoked to have all of you guys on board. And I wonder how much more receiving this little Facebook live has been to you guys, and what you guys are now willing to receive. Barbara Pullen says, you're such a contribution. Thank you so much. Thank you. Prasenjit says, thank you so much for those wonderful words. Feeling energized. Loads of love to you, Zah. Awesome. Yes. So if you guys are willing to receive the energy IB, I'm more than happy to gift it to you. And you know what? I wonder what contribution that gift of energy will be to you that you are willing to receive. It's Sunday afternoon here, so I'm going to say goodbye and enjoy the rest of your morning, evening or afternoon, wherever you are. And I will get this Facebook Live up as soon as possible with the links to everything. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Bye.